Hello and welcome to Lesson 19 in Algebra 1 Distance Learning. Believe it or not, this is week 7 of our videos. If your teacher is Ms. Boatwright, Ms. Reynolds, Mr. Still, Mr. Strickland, Mr. McCrae, or Mr. Yates, you are in the right place. Please remember that you can stop, rewind, fast forward this video at any time. And if you make it to the end, you get to our joke of the day. Our learning target today is I can solve two-step equations and equations with like terms. That may sound familiar because that's review. Okay, two-step equations. Basic idea behind solving equations is you want to isolate the variable. The variable is the letter that it stands in for the number that we're trying to find. That means we want to get x all by itself. Doesn't have to be x, it can be any other letter, but generally speaking, we use x. In order to do this, we need to undo all the operations around the x, and that means that we do the opposite so that the numbers cancel. Usually you can cancel the numbers that are furthest away from x first. Basically, all we're trying to do is to get our letters on one side and our numbers on the other. Why don't you go ahead and see if you can do these three problems, and when you get done, you can turn the video back on. You can check my work to see if I did them right. So go ahead and stop the video now and see if you can solve 3x minus 8 equals 19, and then do the same thing for 2 and for 3. Did you stop the video? I hope you did. Let's take a look at this first one. Again, letters on one side, variables on the other. Letters on one side, numbers on the other. So we've got letters and numbers here on this side, so we have to get rid of this negative 8. What is the opposite of negative 8? It's positive 8. So we add 8 to each side, and these cancel. We bring down our 3x, and 19 plus 8 equals 27, and now we have 3x equals 27. We're in good shape. We have all our x's on one side, and we have all our numbers on the other. However, we want to know what 1x equals, not 3x's. And so we do the opposite of what this says, 3 times x, and we divide by 3. So whatever we do to one side is okay as long as we do it to the other side of the equal sign. 3 divided by 3 is 1x, or just x. We don't have to write the 1 if we don't want to. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. Did you get 9 when you did this? I hope you did. How about this one? Negative 4x plus 6 equals 20. I'm going to draw the line. I have letters and number over here, so I'm going to take this 6 and get rid of it. What is the opposite of plus 6? It is minus 6. Again, whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. Positive 6 minus 6 is 0. That's why we did that. I bring down my negative 4x. And 20 minus 6 is 14. Again, we're in good shape. We have all our x's on one side, all our numbers on the other, but we want to know what 1x equals. So we divide by whatever the number is in front of the variable. In this case, it's negative 4. Why do we do that? Because anything divided by itself equals 1. 1x, which again, I don't have to write that 1, but I will, is what we get at when we divide negative 4 by negative 4. 14 divided by negative 4 is negative 3.5. I mean, decimal point is not very obvious there. All right. Last one. Here we have negative x plus 12 equals negative 6. So we have to get rid of this positive 12. The opposite of plus 12 is minus 12. These cancel. I bring down my negative x. Negative 6 minus 12 is negative 18. And now I got 1x on the left and 18 on the right. Am I done? If you said no, you're correct, because it's a negative x, and we want to know what positive x equals. You might be asking yourself, what do I divide by to make it positive? Well, the number that we're not showing is that's a negative 1. Negative 1x. So what we're going to divide by is negative 1, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And also we're going to divide negative 18 by negative 1, because whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we have to do to the other one. And what we come up with is x equals 18. Did you get that one? If you were close, maybe you messed up on a negative sign or something like that, great. That's good. That means you haven't lost it and you still got it. All right, solving equations with like terms. If there is more than one term with an x or a variable, we need to combine those like terms. That means we want to get all the x's together so that we only have one to solve for. Now, in all my years as a math teacher, I have had students try every year to solve equations without combining their like terms. If they have two x's on one side, they'll try and go ahead and solve it one at a time. And in all my years, I have never seen anyone get the right answer when they don't combine their like terms first. So, my advice is combine your like terms. Let's take a look at number 1. Now, if you think you know how to do these, stop the video. Tell me what 2x plus 3x equals 35 ends up being, what x equals. And for that matter, do 2 and 3. And then turn the video back on and you can check my work to see if I got it right. Okay, combining like terms for number 1. I hope you stopped the video and I hope you tried to solve these. The worst thing that can happen is you might find the wrong way to do something, so you know you can't do it that way again. What is 2x plus 3x? That's what we have to combine. If you said 5x, you are right. So now what I have is 5x equals 35, which is great. Again, my x's are on one side, my 35 is on the other, or my numbers. Except I want to know what 1x is, not what 5x is. So I divide by the number that's in front of the variable. And I do that because anything divided by itself equals 1. 35 divided by 5, 7. Did you get 7? I hope you did. Did you combine your like terms? Maybe you didn't, and maybe you didn't get 7. Let's take a look at 2. 2 says 6x plus 7 minus 2x equals 35. Well, we have to combine our x's. We got a positive 6x and a negative 2x. 6 minus 2 is what? If you said 4x, you are correct. We have to bring down our plus 7. We can't leave that up there. And we have to bring down our 35. So now I have 4x plus 7 equals 35. I have to get rid of the 7, don't I? Because I have letters and numbers on the left-hand side. So the opposite of positive 7 is what? If you said minus 7, you are correct. This goes away. I bring down my 4x. 35 minus 7 is 28. Now I have 4x equals 28. I'm in good shape. I got all my x's on one side. I got all my numbers on the other, except I want to know what 1x equals, not what 4x equals. So I divide that 4 by itself to turn it into 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1x. 48 divided by 4 is, oh my goodness, do you see a pattern here? 7. Do you think 3 will be 7 too? I don't know. Let's find out. Here we have negative 5x plus 2 equals 3x minus 6. So we have to move numbers to get our numbers on one side and our letters on one side. We have to move both. Whichever side you pick, you'll get the right answer as long as you do your steps correctly, but I'm just going to keep the letters on the left and the numbers on the right. So I have to get rid of this 3x. The opposite of 3x is negative 3x. Negative 3x. Negative 5x minus 3x is negative 8x. Bring down my plus 2, and it equals, since this has gone away now, negative 6. I have letters and numbers over here, so I have to get rid of the 2. Opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. And that goes away. I bring down my negative 8x. Negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. There we are. All our letters are on one side, all our numbers are on the other, except I don't want to know what negative 8x equals. I want to know what 1x equals. So I divide by the number in front of the variable, in front of the letter, in this case x. That's negative 8, so I divide both sides of the equal sign by negative 8, and I get 1x, or just x is fine, equals 1. So we have an answer that does not equal 7. How'd you do on that? Did you solve all three of those before I explained how to do it? Did you check my work and make sure I did it right? I hope you did. All right, here's our summary. To solve an equation, we need to isolate the what? The variable, the letter. X often, but not always x, could be any letter. It's the letter that stands in place for the number we're trying to solve. We need to do the what operation so that things cancel. We need to do the opposite. If you want to get rid of something, ask yourself, what is the opposite of that? And then do it. If there is more than one term within x, we need to combine what? Yes, like terms. Remember what I said. I've never seen anybody get one right yet that didn't combine their like terms, first of all. So don't take a shortcut. Go ahead and combine your like terms. What next? You can log into Quizizz.com. You can practice worksheet 19, or you can try Google Homework 19, or you can watch our next lesson, video 20. Here is today's joke of the day. What do you get when you cross a fish and an elephant? Why, swimming trunks, of course. That's all for today. We'll see you next time.